Breaking now at 4:30, an enormous tornado touches down near Dayton, Ohio. A mass casualty incident declaration has been issued there for tracking the damage and the storm's path. Two toddlers, two near-drowning incidents. Both children are in critical condition this morning. We have the details in the warning police have for all parents. The state legislative session wrapped up yesterday, and they passed some big bills to help after Harvey.
From the KHOU 11 studios, this is H-Town Rush.
And good morning, everybody, and welcome to H-Town Rush. I'm Lisa Hernandez. We are watching a lot of breaking news this Tuesday morning, including serious weather conditions nationwide. Let's start it off with meteorologist Cheetah Craft.
Good morning. Well, it seems like this past weekend and yesterday, really from the central part of our country to the upper Midwest region, we are not catching a break. This was, at this point, we haven't learned of any fatalities, but I know, of course, after the sun comes up, we're going to continue to monitor that. Now, notice all of the storm reports, so the tornadoes and the hail damage and the wind damage. It's almost been widespread. Now, the area I'm going to zone in on is exactly what Lisa was saying, from the upper Midwest region and into Ohio. Look at this system, though. It's still continuing to push off to the north and east. Widespread rain, but some of those thunderstorms have really died down. Flash flooding will be the next issue. Zooming on hidden here, thankfully, we're really not tracking a whole lot. The next area for severe weather by the afternoon will be areas just to our north. That's the next cold front that's going to come. But I know, Michelle, really, what a deadly, or what a sad system really to see overnight.
Yeah, Cheetah, this tornado that touched down in Ohio was catastrophic and violent, and it's honestly hard to believe this happened just a few hours ago until you see the destruction left behind. Take a look. Even in the pitch black darkness, you can see uprooted trees, down power lines, and entire homes absolutely demolished. Emergency crews are using snow plows at this point to remove piles and piles of debris. Now, overnight, the National Weather Service confirming a large and dangerous tornado touched down in towns near and around Dayton. Folks were told to take cover as tornado sirens rang out. We're also told at last check there were more than 70,000 power outages across the state of Ohio, affecting millions of folks living there. Now, we're also hearing people may be trapped under rubble and piles of debris, but we just won't know for sure just how many folks are hurt or even killed by this twister until later today. Lisa, you can only hope folks were able to get to safety quickly.
Absolutely. We'll be following this throughout the morning. Michelle, thank you. We're also following severe weather in Oklahoma and Arkansas as they prepare for more flooding and tornadoes there. Storms pummeled the region over Memorial Day weekend. Rivers are rising to record levels, threatening homes and businesses. Tulsa's mayor is urging residents who live near the Tulsa County levee to evacuate. And in Arkansas, that same river is 20 feet above flood stage, and it's not expected to crest until tomorrow. We will be monitoring these weather events as they develop. You can find the latest information on our KHOU News app and on KHOU.com. Right now, let's get over to Steph with a look at the roads.
All right, Lisa, good morning. Let's take you out to the Beltway. This is the side on the west side. It is the northbound side. You're looking at the taillight side. If we have any cars whatsoever, that is going to be your northbound side. So at Beech Nut, we don't normally have trouble here, especially this early in the morning. 5969 at Beech Nut is a different story. We're not dealing with anything like that right now. So nice, wide open conditions for you, not only on that west Beltway, but pretty much all over the place. So it is going to be a mixed bag when we're talking about traffic flow today, because a lot of people going back to work, but then schools are out. It's going to be the start to summer light conditions, and we aren't dealing with any hazards or any accidents at this point of the morning. Lisa.
Steph, thank you. Breaking this morning, a taxi driver recovering after he was shot by his passenger. This happened around 1:30 a.m. on Beech Nut Street at Kirkwood Drive in Southwest Houston. Police say the driver and his customer were in a dispute over the fare. When the rider fired shots, the driver was hit in the leg. He is expected to be okay. That shooter took off on foot. An intense search is underway for the man who gunned down a father known as the neighborhood watchdog. 52-year-old Travis Carey was killed on his front porch in Southwest Houston early yesterday morning. Police say two men pulled up in a silver Nissan SUV. A fight broke out, shots were fired, and Carey and one of the suspects ended up dead. The other suspect got away, and that is who police are searching for this morning. Breaking overnight, two toddlers are in critical condition after separate near drownings in Katy. The first happened around 8:30 last night on Paintbrush Dawn Court. Police say the child was found floating in a hot tub during a family get-together. The other drowning was yesterday afternoon on Windcross Windcross Court. Police say that toddler was pulled from the pool and is in critical condition. It is another reminder to keep an eye on your kids when they're around any body of water. And tragic news off Matagorda Beach. The Coast Guard has found the body of a 16-year-old boy who disappeared over Memorial Day weekend. That teen's family says he drowned trying to save a friend. Joseph Thomas was a talented, self-taught musician and lived his life with an immense love for people. Joseph's father says his son died a hero.
This is a young lady that's living today because of what he did, of my son. Okay, he's represented himself and he represented us well.
Joseph's family wanted us to also mention that he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but used that diagnosis to better himself and others. He assisted children with special needs, even playing music to a special needs class. Unfortunately, Joseph is one of 3 swimmers who got in trouble in the Gulf this weekend. Crews are still looking for a 17-year-old boy from Houston who went swimming with friends at Surfside Beach Sunday night. He hasn't been seen since, and the body of a 29-year-old man who drowned while swimming near San Luis Pass was found on Sunday. A deadly stabbing spree in Japan cast a shadow over the end of President Trump's visit. Officials say a man carrying a knife in each hand attacked a group of schoolgirls waiting at a bus stop just outside of Tokyo. 3 people, including the suspect, died. 16 more were hurt. Japan's prime minister described the spree as harrowing, saying he's outraged and will take all necessary steps to ensure children's safety. Well, President Trump is headed back to Washington after his 4-day visit to Japan. During that visit, the president met with Japan's new emperor and held serious discussions with Japan's prime minister. Topics range from North Korea to tensions with Iran and trade. The president and first lady also visited with Japanese troops and gave a Memorial Day speech to hundreds of U.S. service members. Former vice president and presidential candidate Joe Biden will be in Houston today. He'll meet with the American Federation of Teachers and Houston Federation of Teachers for a town hall meeting. The meeting will allow AFT members to ask the presidential candidate about their concerns and their political priorities. The event is AFT members only. The Texas legislative session is now closed, and before lawmakers wrap things up, Governor Abbott signed 3 key bills into law to help after Hurricane Harvey. Senate Bill 7, which sets up 2 funds for grants and loans to pay for flood control and mitigation. Also Senate Bill 8, which creates an official statewide flood plan. Each region is able to create and submit their own plans, plus funding for a gate to protect Galveston Bay residents and refineries from disaster. And finally, Senate Bill 6, which requires the state to put together guides for local officials on disaster response, recovery, and debris removal.
The wall, bounds away from him, in to score Brantley, Yuli to third base. Astros have their first lead, 3-2.
It was a close one, but the Astros pulled out a win against the Cubs last night. The final score is 6-5. The 2 go at it again tonight. First pitch, 7:10 at Minute Maid. We saw, Cheetah, a lot of Cubby fans out there last night, so I'm glad we pulled out a win. But what are temperatures looking like this morning?
Oh my goodness, we pulled it out. Go Astros. Well, we are starting off this morning in the mid to upper 70s, so it is a sticky start to the day. Here locally, though, you know, the good news is we're really not tracking severe weather. We're really tracking just the heat and the humidity yet again. 74 in Sugar Land, 72 in Conroe, 78 this morning in Pearland. Throughout the area, temperatures are, even though we're starting off in the 70s, yet again, just like yesterday, we're going to be climbing near 90 with heat index values this afternoon pushing that triple-digit mark. So it's going to be another really sticky, steamy one this afternoon. Southeasterly winds. Now take note, in town, north of town, less than 10 miles per hour. Winds all out of the southeast. But check out Galveston this morning. It's 438, almost 439 here on your Tuesday morning. And sustained winds on the island around 20 miles per hour. So gusts today up to about 25 to 30. That is going to lead to another rip current risk. Elevated surf is still in the forecast here for your Tuesday. Now, I do think by tomorrow and Thursday, as high pressure backs off, we'll actually get a little bit of a break as we trend closer to the weekend. We're also going to start to see the chance for a few showers. Today, less than a 10% chance. Most of the day today you'll be under partly cloudy skies. If you catch that stray shower, you consider yourself lucky, okay? 90 degrees this afternoon, 90 degrees for your Wednesday. Get 10-20% chance for a shower, not anything too impressive. It's overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning. That's when the next best rain threat comes. And a few of those thunderstorms, actually Thursday morning stuff, could be be on the strong side. Otherwise, we build back into a pretty big heat ridge by early next week, and that's when temperatures soar back into the 90s.
Yeah, it sounds like the Thursday morning commute might be impacted there. But right now, nice dry roads for you, nice wide open roads, and that is what we love when we're talking about traffic. So a lot of people still have the day off today, maybe recovering from a fun Memorial Day yesterday. So I don't expect the crowd that we typically see in the 5 o'clock hour to be as bad this morning. Now, if you do have to head out like normal and maybe you're heading out in the next few minutes, I always like to compare our East Freeway to 225, and you have very nice speeds coming out of Baytown, Channelview, all the way into Jacinto City. And as you head westbound on your 225 to the East Loop, speeds are just as nice. We go to the west side of town. Katie, you've got Cypress and Jersey Village and Tomball. Tomball, we barely have problems on Tomball Parkway. If we do, it is a very rare and usually serious occurrence, but nothing we're dealing with like that this morning. Lisa.
Okay, thank you, Steph. Time right now is 4:40. Growing dangers on the world's tallest peak. Another hiker dies climbing Mount Everest, the risk these hikers face, and the light at the end of the tunnel. We knew him as Bush 41 service dog, and Sully is continuing his work helping veterans as he took part in honoring the fallen on Memorial Day. And superfans aren't uncommon in sports. Even high school teams have them, but it's one Austin area softball team who deserves a shout out for how they surprised their superfan.